Hey there, welcome to episode 116 of the FFS Talk audio program. I am your host, Dan Hugo. We are recording this at 8:23 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here in Greater Vegas on Thursday, February 12, 2026. I always have to think about that. I gotta say the correct year. And I may not have at some point. I think I've been pretty good, but yeah. Anyway, Thursday, February 12th, 2026. We normally publish FFS Talk on Thursdays, usually in the morning. So check both of those boxes. We're going to make it. I will be honest. I wrote this show yesterday, and my voice was not cooperating. The weather in Vegas has been a little weird. Throws off my entire head. Gets congested and sinus. It's just plus I don't really talk to people. I'm pretty solo. I don't know. I do a lot of stuff working through the day and whatnot, so I don't speak a lot. So speaking to record my audio programs is good, but my voice is not always cooperative. You've probably picked up on that through the various episodes. That said, today's episode 116, Ubiquitous cameras. Hopefully, if you're new to the FFS Talk audio program, hopefully you found it. The FFS Talk audio program is designed to be a conversation, a debate, an argument. Somewhere in there, something like that. Thus far, 116 episodes of monologue, of audio essay, of planting seeds for future conversations and arguments and debates and so on. No difference with today's episode. The Ubiquitous cameras, yes. If you're not familiar with what FFS stands for, perhaps you should hang out with more Irish people. Something to think about. Hopefully, wherever you found this audio program, you're able to locate the episode description, which contains the show notes, including a brief summary, which I'll read. Technically it's 2 sentences. And then the audio program links, so no specific link for today's episode. So let's get started so we can get finished on this Thursday morning. The summary of today's episode: look around in your travels and note how many people have cameras in their phones, in their pockets, on their bodies, and how many cameras mounted on traffic signal poles, buildings, and drones are looking at everything. Always looking. The FFS Talk homepage, ffstalk.com, will someday be the primary point of publication. Who knows if you're listening to this in my future, or if this is recorded in your past. The website may already be lovely and utilitarian. The goal is to publish primary, sort of authoritative episode source material, like the original recording, the notes, the links, of course, everything for each episode at the primary point of publication, so that when you get it from Spotify or Amazon or Apple, YouTube, you subscribe to an RSS feed, you will always be able to find the original episodes at the primary point of publication. Spotify, every once in a while, gets a little wonky. They've deleted an entire channel of mine before. Luckily, it was an inactive channel, but still, that was a surprise. So primary point of publication, ffstalk.com. As well, the profile page linking everything, buymeacoffee.com/danhugo. I first registered that, or signed up, I guess, on that platform in March of 2021. So coming up on 5 years. I don't create these episodes of various audio programs to make money, but if you would like to throw some money in the tip jar, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/danhugo. You can find all of my other creative content creation linked from that page, including YouTube links, Spotify for Creator Portal links, primary point of publication links, project links that are not audio programs, a little bit of biographical information, and some affiliate links. Affiliate links for things that I actually use, but you do not need to spend any money to visit this treasure trove of links and information. Buymeacoffee.com/danhugo. This is also where the Buy Me an Update audio program is published first. The namesake, Buy Me an Update, published on Monday mornings, a quick rundown on the previous week's audio programs and any news and announcements upcoming. Enough of this. Let's get on with that. Today's episode. Cameras, cameras everywhere. The quote, the best camera is the one you have on you, as that saying goes, is almost passe now that so many people are carrying a 4K capable video capture device in their pockets all the time. It's crazy. Not just still images, actual video and long video capture at that. We're not talking capture 30 seconds. It boggles the mind, really. If you've been involved with video over the years, these devices are insane. And they're still not as good technically as like professional cameras with lenses and more substantial sensors and so on. So for a pocket device, the one that you always have on you, you will always have the best camera you have on is the one you have on you, and it will be a darn fine camera in most cases. I myself worked in the video capture industry for a time when the possibility of capturing classic NTSC video, that's the stuff we used to watch on little bottles of nothing with glowing phosphors inside, CRTs, cathode ray tubes. Capturing NTSC video on computers of the day required a lot of hardware and very fast hard drives and very fast hard drive interfaces. And even then, the results were passable. As with most things, and I worked at True Vision, by the way, the Targa 2000. As with most things in the tech world, the camera you could get today to keep in your pocket is the worst that technology will ever be. So it just keeps getting better and better. It's ridiculous. It's really quite ridiculous. In parallel, the development and ubiquity of connectivity, the ability to share still photos and video to anyone around the world and not live streamed. Now. TW right next to each other. And now live streamed high quality video is commonplace. Again, amazing. When I was working at True Vision, we had to have a six drive SCSI 3 array with the fastest available SCSI 3 interface card, the ATTO, whatever it was, ATTO. And it was SCSI 3, so this really thick cable that would run to a 6-drive array, 6 SCSI 3 drives. They were flying, and we were lighting them up, trying to just capture full frame rate without dropping anything. And this was only like 720 overscan. So 640 by 480 was NTSC, 720 by 480 overscan. We could do PAL, we could do SICOM, those French oddballs. But and that was a challenge on the hardware of the day. And nowadays, you're capturing 4K video in your pocket. It's insane. What works? And you're streaming it to your friends live. There are people that wander around the strip in Las Vegas usually on the weekends, just getting video of what's going on, sharing the strip with the world. It's amazing. And the video is stunning. So what works? And again, the format of this, the FFS Talk audio program, if this is new to you, what works, what does not work, and what can we do about it? What works? How many times did you hear a story from the old days capturing babies' first words, first steps, friends and special events, perhaps a good sunset, a great sunrise? With computed image and the ability to capture multiple pictures, long video, and share the best captures, our memories are instant and available everywhere, anytime if we want. Mostly if we want. Sometimes they're just available and we don't get to say. When I was growing up, if somebody had a camera handy, great. Now we're capturing. I think, who was was it? Yeah, I can't remember. I think it was Norm. I think it was Norm Macdonald. It was Norm Macdonald. In the old days, there'd be one picture. You had one picture of a relative because you had to stand there and stand still for minutes, sometimes longer, while the film was exposed and whatnot. So you had the one good picture. And as Norm tells it now, you're going to have, here's 1,000 pictures of my grandpa eating breakfast. So everybody is able to capture everything all the time. It boggles the mind. But so that's nice. I mean, hey, memories are there to be kept. Hopefully you get to keep them to yourself and share them with only people you want to. That's great. The availability of these camera tools and the channels with which to share them, coupled with software developments, enabling editing and creativity in general, now with some generative AI sprinkled on top, telling stories real and imagined, is available to just about anyone. Kind of amazing, actually, and there will be something new tomorrow. I think this was big with filters in the early Instagram and Snapchat, now Snap, days. If you could put if you could put dog ears and a big dog snout on a person and it could track their head movements. Oh, how neat. Back in the old days, you could use color filters or creative development techniques to alter still images. You could do some stuff with video that was a little bit more difficult. Nowadays, you can just move things around in live video. You can use modern AI tools to insert entirely different backgrounds, change outfits, and so on. There's a case for making photos and content more fun if you're not concerned with archival accuracy. But fun can be the name of the game, and we certainly have more and more technology and creativity combining in new and unusual and interesting and fun ways. An entire industry from cottages and basements to big giant businesses has grown up around real-time and delayed on-location reporting, interviews, editorializing spread over the world with automatic transcripts, clipping, as in brief excerpts of a longer form video. And who knows what comes next? Now we know more than some ever wanted to about what's going on in the world within moments and for all time. Even if the original gets deleted, someone somewhere has a copy. The internet always remembers. News every day can include high-quality video captured from multiple angles of good and bad things happening, often making a huge difference between truth and something else. Now, what does not work? I'm going to keep it to 3 things. Timely video can be invaluable for sharing information, a digital eyewitness. Sometimes the audio matters as well. In fact, more and more lately, getting the audio is as important. With the prevalence of raw, real-seeming video and so much business and agenda built around these, careful edits and timely releases can alter perceptions and opinions. A challenge of sorts became popular. First, it was pics or it didn't happen. Now it's video or it didn't happen. Does any picture or video constitute proof, perhaps truth, no matter the chain of evidence? We are becoming used to seeing a video to accompany something, whatever the something is. So if it's just a description, an eyewitness account without photos or video, is it suspect? If there's one video, is it taken to be the truth? Is it one version of a truth? Is it edited? Did it ever happen at all? Sometimes it's for money, other times for clout, maybe ego or self-esteem, the ability to leave viewers an impression, to grow the number of people interested in what you have to say with media creations crafted to impress, rather than tell a real story with influencer, a job title, an aspiration, sometimes a problem. You can watch, there's sort of half parody, people sitting in a private jet, but it's actually like a vignette, like a set piece of some sort that's not a real plane. The way to present things, the way you, and it never ceases to amaze me. People that stop and take a photo of, oh, look, I'm in the hospital, and they have an IV going in their arm, and they got to post a picture of that. Like, wait, I just have to post a picture to social media, and then I'll be okay. And this does lead sometimes to people getting burned out, people getting, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to, but people that just basically say, I can't do this. I got to step back. You hear people retiring. We've been doing this for 10 years. You get people that say, oh, I got to make a video. So it becomes a part of daily life to have this camera at the ready so that you can share your pics and images and your opinions and your insights and what you're seeing and what you're doing with as many people as possible. Okay, let me get off this soapbox. With cameras literally everywhere, the chances that you are in a picture or a video is pretty good. Daily, probably more often than that. Facial recognition on crowds and individuals, video capturing every move, sometimes content altered to satisfy some perverted needs. XAI, most recently, often criminal or reprehensible or both. XAI. Someone or something is always watching and recording, whether you opt in or not. That is getting to be weird, although it's also getting to be just par for the course. So I would wonder if people give it a second thought 90% of the time. Yeah, there's another camera on a street corner that's recording everything I do, everything everybody else does. I guess it'll be good if there's a crime, a witness. So what can we do about it? Looks like this is going to be a brief show today. That's good. What can we do about it? Social graces went out the window long ago. The use of cameras everywhere is expected at this point, something celebrities have suffered for longer, but now we can all suffer the same now and then. Maybe at some point the general population will grow weary of always on, rarely opt in, no opt out capture. Maybe. Yeah, there was a time when if you tried to, and it still happens now and then, but there would be a time if you tried to take a photo of somebody and they didn't want you to, they'd get violent. I was, what was it, about 3 years ago? I was out for a walk in my neighborhood, and I was having a video chat with somebody. I was either a video chat or I was just capturing some quick video to give a sense of the weather or something. So, like 5 or 6 seconds. But there happened to be somebody walking in the other direction, and he almost stopped me to say, "Why did you take a picture of me?" I said, I didn't. I'm sending this to someone, and I'm showing them how the weather is, or what the morning is like or something. And he kind of gave me the side eye. So that was a rarity. Most people don't care anymore, or they'll give you a look, but then they notice that maybe you're not even paying attention to them. You're actually taking a picture of what's behind them, or they moved through your shot. You weren't trying to. Anyway, it's where we are today, and people, maybe somebody will get tired of or maybe the technology will it does exist actually. It will be applied more liberally to remove people from photos and videos that you didn't want to capture. Like, you know what? I don't need to have you in the picture I was trying to take, so we'll just rub you out. You know what I mean? Regulation and legislation are key, but enforcements of these could be profoundly difficult as more and more is accepted. Sometimes you would have to actually say something. Hey, I was in this picture and I didn't want to be. I didn't sign a release. I didn't give permission. I'm underage. I was on private property. Whatever else is available. Can I record actions taken by law enforcement in public? That's a good question. Nobody really seems to know the answer. There's always an answer floating around somewhere. It depends on where you are. It depends on who you are. It depends on what you are. It depends on where you're standing. It depends on where they're standing. Who knows? Who can be really sure? Just be ready to run. Are you on private property? Can I capture images of anyone, anywhere, or are there special cases? Can I post altered images and video, or use AI to generate completely convincing but completely fabricated images and video and share those far and wide? Could be against the rules, against the laws even, but the laws and the rules, the regulations, the willingness to understand and try to keep people's rights safe at the very least. All of these efforts trail the technology at every turn. So even if you've researched, even if your government infrastructure has researched safety factors for publishing photos of minors or even adults, or whether you should be able to demand that your photo or your image be removed from a photo and so on, whatever they decide, or whatever legislation is passed, whatever platform rules exist, on your social media platform, whatever it is, you can't do this. You're not allowed to show that. Well, some new technology will come along tomorrow, and it will require new and additional considerations. So it's pretty tricky, but it's still there does have to be some sort of there's a huge difference between taking a picture of a sunset and holding your camera over somebody's fence and taking a picture of them in their backyard, or taking a picture from a drone of people in their backyard and so on. So some modern thinking will have to be applied, and that will vary, and then no one will ever be sure where they are and what that means. The final point, defensive technologies will eventually catch up. They will need to. They will have to. So-called deepfake content based on real pictures and video will eventually be positively identified as fake, probably, or maybe will lack certification that they are real. There have been experiments with certifying photos, a digital watermark or similar. Those seem maybe not universally applicable, but certainly if the visual watermark present on Shutterfly and what's the other one? They're basically image stock photo companies, when photos are published in publications with celebrities in them and so on, and they're proprietary. They don't want people inserting them into their own blog posts or deepfake videos. So they'll put visible watermarks. So actual digital signing technologies and whatnot could be a factor. So if you get an image and you want to convince people that it's real, you can take maybe there's a chain of evidence, a chain of possession, so that there's provenance visible. So you can say, yes, this video did come from the source. That could be something. So lack of certification versus certification of a particular image or video might be interesting, and it might even work for a little while. Maybe light scattering technologies will develop to obscure faces and bodies. That has appeared in science fiction, television, and movies. And probably novel notions we barely ponder today. It could be, who knows what? Could be something. Bringing ethics and regulations to an AI-powered camera fight is usually and unlikely to be truly effective. Usually unlikely. We will almost certainly need to arm ourselves with proaction on our terms if we can. So obviously, or maybe not, if you're listening to this in my future, if this was from your past. The news of the day lately has been, they were murders, come on. Gunshot murders of American citizens, civilians who happened to be at protests in Minneapolis. With video captured from so many different angles, it was possible to show what, air quotes, really happened, probably. And without those various video sources, any story could have been made up. And if law enforcement or whatever it is they are decided to tell, which maybe they did, tell a story that wasn't quite exactly true, without the video, without the third-party confirmation, that story probably would have been taken as true. So video can have its place, but it's also it's always around whether we want it or not. So sometimes a good thing, sometimes a bad thing. The other one of the other news of like today, what is it, day 12, day 13 of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah Guthrie from the Today Show. Her mother, 84 years old, was apparently abducted from her home at maybe 2 a.m. A crazy story with very little video, but then they've found a little bit of video from a door camera on the mom's home in Arizona somewhere. So now they have a menacing photo of someone who seems to be dressed in a crazy, some sort of like, it's not quite maybe it's a ski mask, but it looks more sinister than that, like a leather ski mask or something. I don't know. But every little bit is evidence that can be, hopefully one would hope that these pieces of evidence, photographic or small video clips from security devices, can aid in tracking this person down who apparently kidnapped or abducted the mom. It's day 12 and she has medical conditions, so the clock is most definitely ticking. In the meantime, videos of Savannah Guthrie and her siblings have been published asking for the help of anyone to try to track down and get her back. The ability to capture video and publish it to the world is non-trivial, even in the worst of circumstances such as this. Back in September 10th, a day that will live, it's the day before September 11th. That one is already marked on the calendars. But September 10th, a right-wing, well-known right-wing person, friend of MAGA perhaps. I didn't really know him. Didn't know what he was doing, what his positions, what his ideas were. But Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That is a word that is often judged. It's kind of a loaded term, but it is probably appropriate. It doesn't have to be a political figure. It can be someone well-known, perhaps. Assassinated on camera with so many people recording his presence at, UVU, a college campus in Utah. So, these are just quick, recent examples. There are so many more. You have cameras in cars that are capturing collisions and other activities that are in the view of the driver. Plus, the camera will often point to the back seat if they're a rideshare person. So you have a record of what was happening when things went awry, perhaps. Door cameras, they are now, is it Ring? has announced a search party, which I guess will fuse various cameras in a neighborhood or in a region. And from what I understand, there was a finding a missing dog demonstration or example in a Super Bowl commercial, which the Super Bowl was just Sunday this week, so 4 days ago. Search Party is, by the way, a thing that we were trying to work on a few years ago as a missing persons platform. So this is kind of the same idea, but they're using cameras instead of gathering people to look to join in the search party. So a camera search party is a little bit creepy because it's going to be looking all the time rather than going out to try to find the missing pet. And we were focused on pets, people, pets, and property. You're not looking 24 hours a day from every angle from these devices that people don't even know they're looking. So I think the ethics of that are going to come into question, but people will probably accept it if they find their pet. So it's a curious thing, and these are curious times. But cameras are everywhere. They are ubiquitous, and we're probably going to have to get used to it, and we're going to have to change the way we deal with it, accept some things, but remember that not everything is acceptable. And then I honestly think defensive technology will have to become a thing. There are already T-shirts, for example, that have imagery on them that will confuse some AI image recognizers. Of course, AI image recognition is changing all the time. So who knows if the T-shirt will still work between when you put it on and when you take it off. Everything can change. There in one scientific sci-fi TV, what was it? Man and Machine, maybe? I think it was a Carl Urban was a human, and there was a robotic police officer, and it was in the future. It was in a near sort of RoboCop style future, and there was a security camera in a hotel, and the perpetrators had some sort of glowing thing, so their face it looked like a starburst, like a weird snowflake starburst thing that was floating in their face, so you couldn't actually, the cameras didn't pick up their imagery. Something like that might have to be invented or developed. It probably still exists somewhere, or they probably already exist somewhere. So yeah, it's going to be interesting times, but just lately, the prevalence of cameras everywhere at every turn. And in Vegas, we have the flock camera system. So those are traffic cameras that are always recording and trying to track down this and that. And the city of Las Vegas does have, I don't remember the number, so don't quote me on this, but something over 1,000 cameras pointed everywhere. Nobody puts this together, but if there's any news in the downtown Vegas area, for example, of someone being assaulted or battered or stabbed or worse, there is almost always some camera pointing at them from somewhere. So there's always, here they can be seen coming out of or going into or hiding behind or getting in front of, whatever it is. So it seems like there's always a camera. And I believe it is something over 1,000 cameras that have been placed in various places in downtown Las Vegas, maybe in a perimeter. I do know for a fact that they record car license plates entering and exiting the downtown area. I don't know what they have on the Strip, but probably somewhere. They do have ShotSpotter audio capture hardware on the Strip and probably downtown as well. So that captures gunfire and it'll try to triangulate on it, figure out where it's coming from. Probably train cameras on it to get imagery. So all this stuff, the surveillance culture, a lot of cameras and a lot of AI, it's going to get very interesting. And drones can be floating around all over the place with cameras. It's crazy. I'm staying home and I'm getting an umbrella, a black one. That's all I know. Thank you for listening as always. A brief show today, but that's fine. They don't always have to be an hour. Take care. Thank you for listening as always. Check out buymeacoffee.com/DanHugo for more of my audio productions if you're not familiar, and you can find links to all of those. There are some affiliate links, like I said. You don't have to spend any money, but you don't. But if you do purchase something through an affiliate link, or if you literally buy me a coffee, all proceeds do go toward the purchase of coffee, beans, or accessories. Coffee is what powers all of my productions. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for listening, and stay safe out there. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.